G'day fixers. A few years ago I showed you this, the original EcoFlow Delta. It was a game changer for mobile woodworking and handyman at the time, but it had its limits, as anything in the first generation tends to do. Today I have been given its successor by Techlyte, and they have asked me to compare and contrast the two models to see how far things have come over the past couple of years. This is the Delta 3 Max Plus. And we're going to see if the 5 years between the development of these two models and the technology that's come along with it is going to make a real difference to the workshop. But first, let's see if the old dog can still perform its tricks. This is my 1800 watt Cavicchia helical head thicknesser. And interestingly, when not under load, it only draws about 850. And the old Delta will power this with no problems. This is my 2100 watt SawStop CTS, and it is a mobile table saw. So wouldn't it be great if you had a mobile power plant that was capable of running it? Let's check the original Delta. Yep, that's what I thought. No discredit to the old machine, it's simply not rated on the label to take something as powerful as the CTS. Hang around and we'll find out if there have been some changes. Back in the day, the original Delta cost about 2400 AUD, and it gave you 1.26 kilowatts of power in an 1800 watt inverter. That's why it wouldn't run the 2100 watt table saw. However, I still got great use out of it running various other things. Notably the battery chargers for my Makin kit, my little Bosch drill press over there, and just last week we had an unexpected power outage at 5 o'clock in the morning when I was getting ready for work, and so out it came for the kettle and the toaster. But obviously it had its limits. The most common task I probably used it for was the outside pressure washer. Currently this new model is running in at 2700. So a little bit more cash, but a lot more power. Let's put them side by side and see what the major numbers have done. Firstly, the one that most people will look at, capacity. We've gone from 1.2 kilowatt hours to 2 kilowatt hours, which is an increase of 2/3, 67%. That's rather huge. One of the main things that I used to do with the old Delta was run my pressure washer, and I got about 45 minutes of usage out of it. Now I can get an hour and 15, an extra half an hour, and that is easily the difference between doing most of a job and finishing a job. The old inverter was 1800 watts, the new one is now 3000, and we're going to put it through its paces in a few minutes' time. But on top of that, it has a surge capacity of 6000, so your induction motors and your things on your tools like your table saw, while they say they're 2100, that can easily double at startup just for a few seconds to get it up and running, and the new Delta 3 Max Plus has the capability of taking on that load easily. And here's something that I like particularly. Now, a few of you will know what I do for a day job, and part of that involves going to fires. And you can probably guess that a lot of house fires have recently been started by lithium technology batteries, including what the old Delta, the NCM, the typical lithium-ion batteries, which can go into what's called thermal runaway, and the e-bikes and so things that are coming in that aren't meeting Australian standards are causing rather a lot of hassles for the fire brigade at the moment around the country. The good news here is the new Delta has stepped up to the much more stable lithium iron phosphate batteries. While lithium iron phosphate are not immune to thermal runaway, you'd have to be basically purposefully physically abusing them to suffer any risk, and from fire investigation standpoint around the world, they are considered excessively more safe. There are a lot of chemical reasons for this that could make a whole new video. Just know that this new tech is much better. You can safely charge it inside at home with far less risk of it having one of those disastrous things that you might see in the news. So while the old Delta was ahead of its time and did have battery management systems in place meeting Australian standards, this is just in a whole new ballpark if safety is a major driver for you. They are also much more sturdy. The original Delta was good for about 800 cycles, meaning that after a few years of use, if you're using it a couple of times a week, you will start to notice a decrease in the capacity as that battery aged. The new LFP Delta is rated for 4000 cycles. To put that in comparison, the old one, used daily, would start fading in about 2 years. The new one you could still be using into about 2036. Hence probably why the old one had a warranty of just 2 years and the new one has a warranty of 5 years. So these are the same type of batteries that you're going to be finding in EVs. They are the current generation of tech that is available, and that is fantastic. Not a feature that I will probably need to go, but the new model also has a new boost capacity, which takes it from its standard 3000 watt up to 3800 watts to run even bigger things. But you are limited to a 13 amp plug. So here in Australia, most of our mains are running off 10 amps, and most of your home workshop tools are going to be 10 amp tools. I think 13 is the European standard, which is why they are set to this on the EcoFlow. But what I'm getting at is, I do not believe this will take a 15 amp plug, which has the bigger earth tang on it. But for most handyman and hobbyist woodworkers, 10 amps is going to be perfectly fine. When it comes to the AC charging, what's pretty remarkable is it's basically exactly the same amount of time, despite the increase in the amount of power that you get out of it. I think when I tested the old Delta, it took me about an hour to get it up to 80%, and then they said half an hour to do that last 20% just for the battery management system. The new one will go 0 to 80% in the same time. I believe the official numbers were 12,000 watt charge on the old one, and this one will now take 1,800. One of the small places you do pay for all of this new power is in the size and weight. It is marginally bigger, not huge, but enough to be noticed. If you built a little cubby for your old one in your camper or something, you won't get the new one to fit in that particular slot. And then there's the weight. Naturally, this is coming at the cost of more power for more battery. The Delta is 14 kilos, a fairly comfortable one-person lift. The Delta 3 Max is at 22 kilos, which is nearly 50 pounds by the old money. So do watch your back and twisting and all that when you are lifting. It is portable to the point that you can move it around, not that you want to be carrying it for a long period of time. When it comes to delivering that power, things also are a lot more logical on here. One of the things I disliked about the first Delta was that the AC ports were on the back and the DC ports were on the front, and then you had the side charging ports in there. It just, there was cables going everywhere basically. This is much, much nicer in that the front of the machine still has your display showing your inputs and outputs and power and all the rest of it, but right there in front are your 4 AC chargers and your 4 DC chargers. That just makes sense to me. Moving along with technology, we now see fewer USB-A slots and more USB-C slots. The sides have been left nice and clean. And then on the back, we see all of the inputs. In at the back, out at the front. I like it. Pipeline. They're all protected behind these lovely covers. You've got your AC charger, the input for the solar, which we'll talk about in just a second, and the input for extra battery. Then I did lie, the DC output for the standard car charger, and now a 30 amp Anderson. I believe that Anderson is the standard for most 12 volt systems, so your caravanning, camping type stuff. That is something that the old Delta simply couldn't do. It wasn't an option. So if you are a maker who's going to use this in the workshop, but also like to get out on the weekend like I used to do before I decided to have children, that's going to come in handy for you. Something else I've never really used it for, it is an uninterrupted power supply, and the switchover is faster on the new one. It's down to like 10 milliseconds, so you wouldn't even see a flicker on your screen with that. And again on the new one, something I didn't really ever explore, because I'm a fairly simple kind of guy when it comes to these sorts of things, but there is a power management app where you can dictate how much power is going through each of the ports, do your battery management and all those other bits and pieces, if that is something that you're really looking to expand this into a more capable system. And when I say expand, you can really expand. EcoFlow has a whole range of additional batteries, so this is the main unit. Then you basically get dumb lithium blocks, which you can plug in up to 10 kilowatts of expandable capacity, and you will be running a workshop all day. Right, there was one more little box that I got sent out, and this is the 220 watt bifacial solar panel kit. I never had the solar panels with the old one, but for me, their primary use is going to be trickle charging while I am outside to squeeze even more life out of the battery. You're not drawing power all the time. When I'm doing my handyman jobs and things, often, you'll go to the drill press, you'll use that, or you'll be charging the battery, you'll use that, then you won't. And that will give the solar time to catch up. And if you want to go absolutely crazy, it'll take up to 5 of these kits, giving you 1,000 watts of solar input, which on a sunny day is going to be tricky for you to drain fast enough. If you had a full array set up on the roof of your shed, I believe you can charge the unit from 0 to 80 in about 2 hours. That's pretty good on a sunny day. Throw some of the expandable batteries on there, and hell, you've got yourself an off-grid workshop. That costs you basically nothing to run for up to around 10 years. Or, of course, if you are going to go camping, then this will trickle charge and keep it going for, a week or so on end while you're out in the bush. This was my first attempt, and you're watching 4 minutes condensed down that was ultimately unsuccessful. This was honestly the only major negative that I had with the whole product experience, and it was probably because all the components were new. The pull-out folding elastic legs just wanted to keep auto-closing, and it was nearly impossible to get the panel to stand flat. Over time, this will probably improve, but it was very frustrating out of the box. Got there in the end. Hell, I'm thinking of sticking these solar panels up on my balcony and seeing if I can just use this as a daily battery inside. Not sure if that'll get wifey approval, but it is handy to have in those rare blackout occasions. We're getting the meter boards here changed next week, and my fridge would have been off for 12 hours. Guess what? Now it's not. The bifacial thing got me. I never actually heard this before, but effectively the back of the panel can also receive reflection. So if you put it on the concrete or something else light and reflective, you can actually increase the boost of the sun just coming and hitting the front. That's pretty cool. And they are spray and dust proof as well, so if you get a little bit of a shower on them, it shouldn't hurt them. They also have a 5-year warranty. They only clock in at about 5 kilos, so easy to carry around, fold up, move, all the rest of the good stuff. Hey, this is cool. See this little thing at the top? It's actually an angle guide, so you can point your panel most efficiently towards the current sun. If you line up the circle with the little dot, you're basically getting the best efficiency you can. I'm guessing you'll have to move it pretty constantly, but, take some of the guesswork out. So just a quick test to see if it could do what is on the label, but more importantly, what sort of efficiencies you can get. This was late afternoon. You can see it's in pretty much full shade there, and we are centered as best as we can. Conversion rate, running an 80-watt studio light outside because that was the quietest thing I could find that would draw power easily in my workshop. And we can see we're at 20 watts, so 10% of what it is capable of doing. But it was lovely and peaceful in the nice dappled light, and look, we're getting something.
Several days later.
Now that's impressive. That is autumn on a 20-degree day.
Still March in Sydney, still afternoon, but this time in some full sun, and we were getting about 90% of the panel's efficiency set up there. So no doubt, if you had these in an Australian summer, they would be absolutely cranking, and the position probably doesn't even matter that much. You get some nice bright sunshine on them, they will easily hit their maximum capabilities. So is it worth it, and is it good value? Well, I think my position on this really hasn't changed. I've had the original Delta for several years now, and I honestly probably use it only a few times per year. Now, a lot of that came down to, again, said fatherhood and me not going off-site out of my workshop to handyman jobs like I used to. If I was still going out to jobs more regularly, then yes, this is going to be coming in handy more often. But for those few occasions where we have had power outages, or I've needed to use a pressure washer or another tool around the property in places where running a really long extension cord was either very difficult or impossible, I was damn happy to have the thing on hand and available. And with power prices spiking, it would actually make sense now with the solar panels to use it more often to take advantage of the free electricity that it can provide. Now, we say free, but of course there is an initial setup to this, and the good news is that with the old Delta and only 800 cycles, you are actually paying about $3 per charge. With the new model, the improved battery technology means that's now only about 75 cents per charge, and your charge is 2/3 bigger. That's pretty cool. So whether or not it's worth it for you comes down to your use cases, and the ways you can think about it is as an insurance policy. Like all things, you pay money to have coverage for bad things happening. If you do lose the power, then you've now got a reliable backup source. If you're going to use it day to day, you're going to get much better value out of it because you're going to be able to do things in locations where getting AC power is going to be very tricky or impossible. Or you could use it to subsidize the power in your workshop. If you are going to be charging it with the sun for free, you can lower your electricity bills, and this model has such a long lifespan that you'll probably be upgrading it before it actually even dies in 10 years' time. And I say dies, it probably wouldn't even be dead in 10 years' time. You'd need to be using this thing so hard to knock it down. It's still going to have, I think, 80% of its life after 10 years of daily use. So it is a big investment, but put your own price on the convenience. Now, I think we all know the answer to whether or not I plug in this to the CTS and it'll go, so let's make it a little bit more challenging. Let's also hook up the Carbotech 1 horsepower dust extractor and have them going at the same time. This would have been impossible 5 years ago. Let's see how the Delta 3 Max Plus does. And there it is. You could probably sum up the technology difference being what was once a backup battery is now a true mobile power station. For the professional maker or even just the enthusiastic hobbyist, this isn't a gadget anymore. It's a legitimate AC supply that you can take to a job site, use it for the day, and get adequate results on all of your tools. It has been fun to see the technology curve on these, and I don't think they're done yet, but from the original Delta to the Delta 3 Max, there is simply no longer any comparison. I'll link below to all the full spec sheets in case I have missed anything, and let me know in the comments if there are any other situations that you could see yourself using this that I haven't thought of yet. I'm happy to steal them off you. Thanks again to Techlyte for sending me out this guy for review. There will be links down below to where you can check it out on their website. They often have sales and bundle deals going where you can save even more money on packaging stuff together. And you can sign everything from a single unit right through to a fully automated off-grid workshop with solar backup and heaps of power if you so choose. I hope you do go check it out. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to go see if this thing can run my air conditioner. It's warm today.